Previously on the amazing Spider-Man, after getting through multiple gruesome dates and learning the new responsibility of being Spider-Man, Peter is back again to his regular life. He has no magic powers, he is jobless and now facing the mundane challenge of his daily life. His new girlfriend Shay Marken is now part of his new chapter and Peter is looking for jobs. He went for many interviews but he is getting rejected. Peter wants to settle down and for that he needs money, and that time his long lost childhood friend Brian Neri offers Peter to work at Rand Enterprise. Peter becomes so much happy, but then he gets saved by his sparkle love. He is confronted by Hobgoblin and his evil plan. He is poisoning the people by putting drugs into their drinks. His soda company is poisoning the entire city. So Peter, with the help of Brian, they defeat Hobgoblin and his evil scheme to become rich. Now Peter is settled in his new job. His boss is also impressed by his work, but she also wants Peter to come regularly at the office, as most of the time he either no-show or took a day off. Peter's life was finally going well. Aunt May is proud of him. She is still talking to Peter as she hopes to get a healthier relationship. But there are many doubts as Shay is suspecting that Peter is dating another girl with a silver hair, and we all know who that is. So Peter and Shay decided to go on an open relationship. They can date whoever they want until they figure out if they truly love each other or not. So while Peter is dealing with this, he is visited by Tombstone, who give him the tips about a new gang which is trying to take over the underworld. So Peter is tracking them, and in the middle of that, Felicia joins in. She started to flirt with Peter, but he doesn't have time for this. But as they are about to engage with the criminals, Spidey is confronted by a mysterious villain, Hellgate, who demand to test Spidey's strength for some unknown reason and willing to kill anyone who stands in their way. The fight takes place in a crowded area, so to save everyone, Peter took the monster to a less crowded place in the Central Park. But the evil seems unstoppable. None of Spidey's techniques are working against him, and the Hellgate wants more. He is also pissed seeing Spider-Man taking care of the others, so Hellgate gives him the brutal beatdown. Peter couldn't save himself, and then Hellgate tells Peter to get stronger, and with a glowing fist, he punches Spidey and everything goes white. Is Peter Parker dead? Let's find out in today's video. Welcome to Comicstube YouTube channel. In today's video, we will review Chapter 9 of Amazing Spider-Man. You can get the previous parts on this playlist, so if you guys are new here, please subscribe and turn on all the notifications to never miss any future uploads. Please like, comment and share. All the text and images are owned by its respected company. You can support them by purchasing it digitally or from any offline stores. The issue opens up in the flashback in Peter's childhood days inside a department store. Aunt May is buying clothes for Peter and he is playing with his Captain America action figure. Little Peter seems full of hope, believing to be a hero who saved the innocents. And then the panel jumps in the present day. The city is in chaos. Shocker with his upgraded suits and his aftershock party are terrorizing the streets. The cops show up to take them out, but with his aftershock troops, he destroys the police van, critically injures the cops, and then Shocker sees a man who is looking at him, and it is Peter. He is alive but injured with a broken leg. He is walking with a stick, and it seems Peter is not bothered at all. Allows the aftershock troops to terrorize the city. It feels like he doesn't care anymore, just like he did in the 8 deaths of Spider-Man during Kyra's test. There is no sign of Spider-Man, but it seems Peter is now focusing only on his regular life. He wants to settle down, concentrates on his work at the Rand Enterprise with the help of his buddy Brian Neri. Peter is doing outstanding work that impressed his boss. Everyone is praising how talented Parker is. In the work, Peter also faces jealousy, a healthy competition with one of his co-workers, Astrid. So Brian came up with a plan. He wants Peter to go on a date with his rival, but Peter rejects that. He reminds Brian that he already has a girlfriend. So Brian makes an idea that he can have 2 girlfriends. But the thing is, the girl that Peter is mentioning as his girlfriend is not Shay Marken, as they are no longer couples. They are in an open relationship, and we still don't know if Peter is dating Felicia again. So while talking with Brian, Peter gets a text message, and outside the office, Peter is visited by Norman Osborne. It seems these two haven't talked for a while. Peter tries to avoid him, not answering to his calls or any messages. Norman respects that. Peter wants some space, especially after the brutal fight with the Hellgate. But he also reminds Peter about the painting works, the Hobgoblin who poisoned everyone with his soda factory. They need to catch him, and also the others who try to kill Osborne. But hearing all this, Peter remains silent. Norman can't figure out what is going on, so he again says people are scared. Spider-Man needs to return. So Peter takes a pause and he says he is working on it, but Norman can't agree with that. He can't tell if Peter is making a plan or trying to avoid everything. He is worried for him, so he asks Peter, has he spoken to his aunt? But then Peter gets pissed, and while leaving, he reminds Norman not to bother him again at his work. Meanwhile, at the fish center, Aunt May and one of her partner from the work, Ricardo, are making foods, and Ricardo talks about Peter, as for quite some days he hasn't talked with May. Ricardo first saw Peter when he was drugged, so he is believing that Peter is taking drugs, isolating himself. One of his niece also did the same. She abandoned her family because of drugs. She stole money, embarrassed everyone, and when they found her, it was too late. She was dead. So Ricardo tells May, do not ignore Peter. She has to find a way to contact with her son before it's too late. I hate this man. The day he saw Peter, he is manipulating May against her son, framing him as a drug addict, and I'm not liking this. On the other side, in a secret hideout, Shocker shows up to meet his new boss, Tombstone. He is impressed by his work. Shocker did well with his upgraded suit. In the background, Tombstone's henchmen are torturing someone, so ignoring that, Tombstone gives Shocker a permanent place in his team. They shake their hands and start a new beginning. Together, they can rule this city. Meanwhile, after finishing his work, Peter is heading towards his home and he is talking to someone over the phone. It seems his girlfriend. He is telling her everything about his work, his boss and friend, and he invites her to come to his home tonight. But as he arrives to his apartment, Peter sees MJ, who was waiting for him. MJ realizes Peter is talking to his girlfriend. Aunt May called MJ to check on Peter. She was worried for him, but then MJ reveals that's not the only reason she came here, as she wants to talk about her, about them. She's wanted to tell him for a long time, but she was afraid. She wanted to help Peter in that fight, but she knows Peter doesn't need her help, but she needs him. She needs her friend. Both she and Venom does, and for the first time, Peter sees MJ and Venom together, but he has no reactions. Peter thought she wanted to get back together, but she is not. So Peter leaves the two, telling MJ and Venom they deserve each other. MJ tries to stop him, but Peter closes the door. He doesn't want to talk with her. On the other side, Shay and Randy are walking on the street, talking about Peter. Randy tries to convince Shay that Peter is a good man. He doesn't ghost anyone. He is the kind of person who is talking to his exes. They are husbands and boyfriends. But now, he is radio silent, not talking to him, Shay, or his aunt. And it all happened after his accident. But there is a problem. Shay is a nurse with the access to medical records, and she discovered that there was no record that Peter was treated in any hospitals. She doesn't believe that Peter is a victim of a hit-and-run case. But while they are talking, she senses something and she quickly pushes Randy from an electric shock. As in the air, the new superhero, Captain Kintsugi, is fighting the aftershock troops. The kid tries his best to take them all out, but soon he is cornered by all three of them. They put him into the ground and proceed to take his life. But before that can happen, one of them is pulled away into the shadow. They start firing at everywhere, but the attacker is taking the advantage of the darkness and he quickly tackles the second one. The remaining one gets scared. He finds a light and as he turns it on, he sees Spider-Man. His friends are knocked out and now Spidey is going to beat the hell out of him. There are a lot of speculations that this Peter Parker is actually his clone, Ben Reilly, who is pretending to be Peter, but we are not sure and we will find it out in the next issue. And with this, the chapter 9 of Amazing Spider-Man comes to a close. So which part you like the most? Please let me know on the comment section down below. And please like this video and do subscribe, as this will motivate me to make more contents. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.